Yeah. This is part 2 of our broadcast. It says going live here, but I guess we are already live. Let me see. Yes, we are live. Do we have video here?
Looks like it. Yeah, we've got it's up. Yeah.
Let me see if we have video here. It says 43 seconds. Is this the old? Hang on. Let me see the new feed here. I know we're live, but let me just get the new one. I want to share the new one too, right?
Sure. Go ahead and share it as well. Share.
Okay. Let's see if it's here. Ok, pessoal que está nos assistindo, estamos com a segunda parte da nossa discussão sobre alimentação, ok?
Yeah. I'm still here.
Isso aqui foi a parte 1.
Blue.
Você mandou. Ok. Yeah. Ok. Será que eu estou compartilhando aqui na nossa página? Você já compartilhou, certo?
Yeah.
Excelente, acabou de aparecer aqui para mim. Só um segundinho, deixa eu tentar descobrir o que está acontecendo aqui no meu, ok?
Yay.
Deixa eu só ter certeza que estamos ao vivo.
Yeah, it's definitely live because I'm able to see where I'm at from.
Yeah, we're back. Yes, we are, right?
Yeah, we're totally
it says here, part 2. Beautiful, we're back. All right. Yeah. Então, continuando de onde nós paramos, ok?
Sure.
Será que existe uma dieta perfeita para seres humanos? É uma pergunta bem complicada, tem muito a ver com a sua genética, tem muito a ver... provavelmente é uma coisa que varia de indivíduo para indivíduo. Confere?
Right. No, totally. And actually, as we're talking about this subject in general, I've got somebody who's made a comment,
okay.
And I totally have to agree with it. It says save a lot of rainforest if we ate a lot less meat, and I think that that's definitely true. That's from Dan. He says that we'd save a lot of rainforest if we ate less meat. And that's my biggest reason for cutting back on meat. I think that's
uma correlação que muita gente não vê. É uma correlação que algumas pessoas não veem.
We don't really see it as taking over, land that could be used for something else. But that's what is effectively happening.
Tá criando gado, né? Tá criando gado.
Cutting down rainforest in order to do this. It's not the first time that humans have done this. In fact, it's even I don't remember where I got this information, but there was something said about the Native Americans in the United States burning down forest long ago in order to make the Great Plains a bigger, plain area, so that there were buffalo that would grow there. So it was something that the Native Americans had done in order to increase the amount of buffalo that would be able to grow on the Great Plains. And I don't know if this is 100% true, but that is something I heard, and I think that that makes sense. That humans have always wanted to increase the amount of meat that they could eat.
Tem mais espaço para os animais virem, claro.
So we're looking at that. I think that there might be something to that as well.
Será que em algum momento da história a população de búfalos já foi muito baixa?
Oh yeah, well, in our modern history, yeah, we almost hunted them to extinction.
Então, já foi bem baixo, né? Já foi. Os números já foram maiores.
They were so big that back in the day you wouldn't. I mean, there was just so many that you couldn't even think that they would ever, end. And in fact,
quase acabamos com eles.
Almost.
Seres humanos. Bom, então, assim, algumas pessoas também acreditam. Deixa eu só anotar aqui. Deixa eu pegar essa aqui. Esse aqui é um assunto que eu achei importante, porque assim, algumas pessoas afirmam que nós, seres humanos, podemos viver sem carne, que também não morreríamos, não aconteceria nada de ruim. Teria como viver sem carne. Porém, existem algumas pessoas que dizem, se nós, seres humanos, tivéssemos desenvolvido para não comer nada animal, então não precisaríamos de vitamina B12. E vitamina B12, aparentemente, praticamente... o acesso é mais fácil, através de produtos de origem animal, a vitamina B12. A maioria das pessoas que são veganas, eles tomam algum complemento, eles tomam um suplemento, né? Eles precisam de... eles têm mais dificuldade, não vou dizer mais dificuldade, mas não é tão natural. Né? Você tomar um suplemento, para mim, não é tão natural para você ter acesso a uma vitamina.
Nothing particularly natural about any kind of supplements. So when people say they're taking a supplement of B12 and yet their diet is all natural, that's a definite, let's say,
artificializado.
It's not an artificialization of it. It's not particularly honest to say that you're living this natural diet and then taking a supplement because B12 is not found in quantities in most of the food that you can eat. The thing about veganism is, again, I look at it as this is a modern day thing that we can live and we probably should live. I mean, this is the thing. If I have to be honest, I would say, like, anybody who's doing vegan, my hat's off to you, because it's actually a really great way to live. And if you have to take a B12 vitamin, that's true. That's helpful too. But let's not try to say that humans are not omnivorous. That's not a fact of science. I mean, the fact of science is that we do eat meat, we consume it without any problem at all.
Levando esse fato da vitamina em consideração, parece que precisamos. Talvez em pequenas quantidades.
We don't need it now because we can get a vitamin B12 supplement. But if we can't get a vitamin B12 supplement, and I mean, there are ways to get around that, eating the supplement by eating certain foods. You can get it from foods, but if you think about it, ancient man didn't have the opportunity to just go around and get those certain foods. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, let's
muito menos suplementos, né? Muito menos.
Right. Suplementos. I mean, and again, I think it's a point of, we can't say that vegetable diets are all the rage too, because in certain aspects they destroy the environment as well. When you cut down and entire rainforest and plant banana trees in its stead, you're not.
Soja é mercado gigantesco.
Right.
Soja.
I mean, soy as well, and I mean, there's all kinds of things. So if we say that, for the environment, yes, I would say that a lot of energy is used to produce beef. That is a fact, right? And
água.
Right, water and all kinds of resources for chickens, for any kind of meat product. You're going to use more energy to produce that than you are plants. It's just a fact of the matter. Now, does that mean that all plants are worth making? I mean, could you say the same thing for sugarcane? I mean, you make a lot of sugarcane in Brazil.
Sim, e agora também no Brasil, aparentemente, não sei a informação aos detalhes, mas existe subsídios do governo para produzir cana-de-açúcar porque auxilia na produção de álcool para os automóveis.
Right,
então, existe um apoio do governo, um incentivo do governo para essa produção.
And the same thing's kind of happened in the United States with corn. They've decided, well, we're going to give supplements to the corn industry, and people are doing that. So what do we get? We got all this corn sugar, corn syrups that we make in the United States. You put it in all of our beverages.
Refrigerante, tudo, né?
And that is equally damaging, or if not, probably more damaging than the meat products are to both the environment and to people. So we cannot just say that meat is the only thing that's damaging the environment. It's certainly one of the factors that does. But if we want to paint everything with the same brush and say, look, all things that are bad for the environment, we've got to throw sugarcane under the bus. We've got to throw corn under the bus. Those have got to be all talked about as well. A lot of it depends on, but also we have to think of one other factor here. Poverty is lessened by the production of a lot of food. When we produce a lot of food, we're eliminating poverty on a certain level. We're making it so that poor people can get a hold of these foods. Now, maybe if veganism gets a little more popularity, that'd be great, because then people can eat a little bit more interesting food. But right now, veganism is an expensive way to live. You know, normal people, poor people, can't afford to live the vegan life. Vegan life is too expensive.
Yep.
Fortunately, to get all of the different kinds of foods that you would want to eat, it's very difficult.
Esse é um argumento muito forte.
And I would say that one of the things that I've noticed is, you know, on the opposite of that, though, beef and meat are more expensive than almost any kind of vegetable. So, you know, with that in mind, going to the vegetables again. But I think a lot of poor people are using mostly, you know, sugars and things that are out of control. That's what makes them obese, what makes them have a lot of health problems and so on. But if people would look at veganism as a way, first of all, for health reasons, and second of all, for environmental reasons, that it's a really useful way to improve everybody's life by just going vegan. I personally don't, and I want to, and I need people around me to also want to, because it's a very difficult thing to do by yourself. And I have like I said, my hat is off to anybody who's been able to do this, especially in Japan. I have some friends who are vegans as well. I actually know another lady from Canada. She's a vegan. She suffers a lot in Japan. She says, I really can't do it properly because it just there's no options.
Ok.
But you know, that's
Não existe um mercado tão popular no Japão. Você vai no supermercado e é sempre a mesma coisa, né? É o cantinho do peixe, o canto da carne de porco. Parece que os mercados são uma cópia um do outro. Não tem.
Well, it is true. I think that there's the main problem is not the fact that you can't do it yourself. It's you can never go out to eat. There are no.
Eu já passei por esse problema. Às vezes eu tinha que, por exemplo, eu queria ir eu só podia comer no restaurante indiano, que era o único lugar que tinha comida que era mais fácil de encontrar.
Practically vegan, right?
É, mais fácil. E gostoso, comida gostosa, né?
Sure, but you realize that most Indian restaurants do use a form of butter, you know.
Que provavelmente é de origem animal. Né?
Right, it comes from animals. You know,
então é difícil de você. O que estão colocando nessa comida? Não
I
sei.
talked to my sister who's a rancher, and she said one of the things that she said was that it's impossible to be a vegan because if you really get down to it, everything has animal in it, and she's true. I mean, even your medicine. They'll be
a cápsula que envolve ali, o gel que envolve o remédio, é feito com origem animal. Então, assim, hardcore mesmo, vegan, é muito complicado
really
de ser.
My hat's off to them. I mean, I glue, everything comes from animals. And
talvez seja possível diminuir a quantidade de carne que você come.
I totally believe that is possible.
Talvez é possível diminuir, ok?
I really think that's
talvez existem inúmeras doenças que estão relacionadas à alimentação no geral.
Totally.
Relacionadas ao ambiente também, como por exemplo, câncer, que eu acho que é a que preocupa todo mundo. Doenças cardiovasculares, ok? Doenças cardiovasculares que para os homens é o grande terror. Doenças cardiovasculares. Provavelmente você conhece alguém que já perdeu um pai, um tio, que perdeu alguém.
I mean, not to laugh at it. It's not. I laughed and chuckled at fathers and mothers and grandfathers and stuff that died from cardiovascular disease. But I've people my age that have died. You know, I'm 40 years old.
Recentemente, em Toyota, eu soube de um rapaz também brasileiro que morreu uma morte repentina, creio que doença, me disseram que problema cardíaco, mas ele aparentemente era um rapaz que frequentava academia, que fazia esportes, fazia jiu-jitsu, fazia levantamento de pesos, então externamente ele parecia ser extremamente saudável, mas por dentro talvez alguma doença do coração, algum problema relacionado à má alimentação de alguma forma. Né?
Well, I don't know about that. I can
É
say that
especulação, é especulação.
the thing about that I can say is that a lot of people will die from genetic predisposition to heart.
Do nada, né? Do nada.
And I can say that again, good diet will help prolong whatever life you have, and good exercise will help prolong whatever life you have. But at the end, we are kind of prisoners to our genes. We don't really have a way around
Não
that.
tem muito como escolher. Bom, Robert, dessa pesquisa, desse estudo, durante esses dias, foram apenas 2 ou 3 dias de estudo. O que você, assim, você poderia citar algumas coisas que você aprendeu de forma resumida, que você poderia deixar aqui?
Sure. I'd like to start with basically, I went at this looking at the arguments for why you wouldn't want to eat meat, and why veganism is kind of popular as an argument today. And I understand their arguments quite well, and I think that it basically what I basically learned more than anything else was that vegans, particularly, they're vegans because they care about the environment and they care about the animal rights. And from those two aspects, if you look at either one of those, just individually, if you look at the animal rights, that's a good reason not to eat meat. I mean, if you think about it, you don't like to kill animals unless you're willing to kill the animals yourself and do that yourself. You really want to watch some of the videos of how animals are slaughtered, how animals are raised. You watch some of that material, you will really kind of change your mind about it.
É muito gráfico.
Yeah, it's very graphic. It's very hard for people to watch, and in fact, it is really, really painful to watch. If you really want to get into it and want to be a vegan, that will actually help you change your mind. If you also understand where dairy products come from and how that process is brought about, I actually worked at a dairy farm, and I watched those cows basically deteriorate until they were about to die, and they just kept them coming in until they were about to die, and as soon as they couldn't have babies anymore, they would just chuck them to the wall, gone. They were it was horrible. So if I think about those times when I did work in dairies and in ranching and those things, I saw the best of human relationship with animals and the worst of human relationship with animals. So, but if you look at the environmental factors of it, that we use a lot of food that could have been used for humans to raise animals. And that's another big
Parece
one.
que 80% da produção de grãos vai para os animais.
Yeah, a large portion. I don't know the numbers. I can't say some kind of number.
Grande número.
But it's a big enough number that it would be like, wow, why are we using all that to raise animals when we could be using that to raise humans? But at the same time, I think that the one thing that I noticed again was any of the arguments made by vegans about scientifically people should be vegan. I found that those aren't really sustainable arguments. Those are not real arguments. If you want to be strong in your vegan arguments, argue the stuff that's really easy to argue, which would be the moral factor. Is it morally right now that we don't need to eat meat, that we eat so much of it? Number two, one of the other things that I think that people should definitely look at would be the environmental factors. It does tax the environment a lot harder than it should to produce enough food for humans through beef and through meat. Is not specifically beef. I would say through meat in general. We have there's lamb and there's chicken and pork as well. But generally speaking, would those animals be better off? Well, no, they would all be extinct, right? We wouldn't have any of those animals if we weren't using them for meat. So what would that mean? That would mean there would be more deer, there would be more elk, and more different things. So if you wanted to be a hunter and you wanted to eat those kinds of meat, and you wanted to go hunt for it and get it that way, it would be a lot better for the humans as a whole if that's what happened. So there's a lot of arguments for eating less beef and less chicken and things like that. Even on the side of the ranches, I was talking to my sister today. I said, what would it be like if the corporate farms all disappeared? And she said, well, beef would be really really expensive, and
É,
um, and
será que. Uhum,
they'd get more for their product, than what they do now with the product with the great big corporate farms that farm beef in great numbers and do it really quite disgustingly to be honest as well. If you look to the like the home ranchers that have their own cattle, like the
uhum,
people in Mongolia, they take really good care of their cattle,
aham. É quase
because
como que, assim, faz parte de uma forma muito grosseira, mas faz parte da família. De uma
yeah,
forma
it
muito
does.
grosseira.
No,
Uhum,
sincerely does. I mean,
uhum,
I remember that as a child, we would raise our own animals, and I remember that we knew that these calves that we were raising or these lambs that we were raising, they were going to be turned into meat eventually, and
Vocês
it was
davam nomes para os
oh
animais?
yeah,
Vocês
we had
davam...
no names and everything. These were named animals.
Uhum,
We would
uhum,
pet them, we would ride them,
uhum.
we would take
Brincar
them.
com eles, né? Uhum,
Yeah, we were just all
uhum,
always loving those animals, and
uhum,
if they had it's the craziest thing is like I would see some of my nephews, they love their sheep and they know that those sheep are gonna, but they love them, and they will do anything to keep them alive up
uhum,
until the
uhum,
day that they know that they need to be butchered
uhum,
for meat and
uhum.
for whatever reasons they're going to be butchered. But they are really really cared for by individuals. And this is the thing when you go into these big corporate farms, these enormous, gigantic, mechanized farming. That there's no human element to that. There's no love for the animals in that.
É
The
só um
love
produto, é
it's
só o lucro.
yeah, it's treated as much as a worthless product, as a product that's only value is to be slaughtered and to die, and it doesn't.
Ok.
There's no human aspect to it at all, and
Você,
so
você tem uma mensagem bem forte, a sua impressão, a sua experiência como ter vivido próximo dos animais, significa, eu acho
right.
que a sua palavra vai valer muito para
Well, I hope
quem,
yeah, I hope
né,
it does.
para mudar um pouco da perspectiva daqueles que acham que toda pessoa que come animal não tem coração. Não é bem assim, talvez, né?
I think that that's an easy thing for them to
Uhum,
say
uhum,
because what is
uhum,
produced in those anti-meat movies
uhum,
is very disturbing. I mean, anybody
uhum,
who's on side with that, I don't think
uhum,
anybody's on side with that, except for those
uhum,
corporate farmers who would
uhum.
easily sell you, tobacco as well. Corporate farmers of tobacco. That's the same thing
Desde
as
que esteja fazendo dinheiro.
right. They're making money out there and they're happy as hey. It's the same as
Algumas
any
pessoas dizem que, por exemplo, a mesma empresa que te vende. No Brasil, nós dizemos assim: é, o farmacêutico é o mesmo cara que te vende o caixão.
yeah. It's probably too
Então,
yeah.
porque às vezes, por exemplo, se você for pensar bem, os
Right.
hospitais não estariam cheios se não tivessem pessoas doentes. Então, talvez exista uma certa necessidade de ter pessoas doentes. Talvez é melhor para a economia ter pessoas com
for for
problemas
for
do que
some
ninguém sem nenhum problema.
for some economies and some markets, it is important to have sick people, and I think that that's a horrible thing. But I think more than anything, it's a culture and a kind of what would say an addiction that we have to meat as humans. It
Uhum.
was so important for us to have. It was a matter of life and death at some points for humans to have meat. I've in ancient hunter gatherer societies, they really, really,
Talvez não estivéssemos aqui, né? Talvez não estivéssemos
yeah.
aqui.
Well, they would say, well, I would say this, like, meat was so important to them that they would do anything to get it. And but they wouldn't get it as much as we do. I mean, it was never as easy as going to the supermarket and picking up
Não, você tem
a
que ir lá
bunch
e
of steak.
matar o animal
You
e,
had to go
né?
out there and actually hunt that thing down.
É,
Had
é,
to actually, kill it and skin it and eat it fast. I mean, people would pig out on it. A barbecue was like a really big thing because it meant that the tribe was going to survive. And nowadays, that's not necessary.
e talvez
Nowadays,
ficar sem carne durante um longo período.
right? They would not. They might not get it for another year. They might not get it for a long time. And this is because it was really difficult. I mean, can you imagine trying to chase down an ox with an axe? I mean, like
Yeah, é. Uhum.
I mean, not only would
Sozinho, impossível.
okay,
Sozinho,
and
impossível.
not even that way. It would be not even
É,
it would just be dangerous, but it would also
é.
be really a lot of time and energy wasted in that. So
É
I
bem provável que muitos humanos morreram tentando fazer isso.
oh yeah, it's
É bem
very
provável.
often.
É.
Yeah.
Ah, para mim, ficou a lição de que, se possível, tentar comer um pouco menos, por mais que
Yeah.
continue comendo. Se você come, tudo bem, mas talvez algumas pessoas dizem com moderação. Tem gente que diz que não existe moderação, que isso
Really?
tem gente que diz que na verdade você não deveria, você simplesmente não deveria comer, que esse negócio de
All right.
comer com essa história de comer com moderação é só uma maneira de começar a te viciar, né?
I see.
Mas
Right.
que não, que você deveria cortar mesmo, que você não deveria comer, que faz mal para você,
Right.
que não existe, que produtos de origem animal, assim, no seu organismo, eventualmente vai te fazer mal, mas eu honestamente não estou aqui para convencer ninguém, eu estou aqui para aprender, ok?
Yeah.
Eu espero que a gente tenha esclarecido um pouco o assunto,
Sure.
ou talvez, eu espero que não tenhamos confundido mais ninguém, pelo menos, né?
Well, I think that I hope that everybody's a little more confused and a little bit more thoughtful on this because
Pense no assunto, né? Pense
yeah,
no assunto.
it's not something you can just say, well, I'm not a vegan, so all vegans come.
Hoje é 1º de janeiro, muita gente comeu muito
Yeah, I
de
know.
ontem para hoje.
Yeah.
Muita gente vai comer muito ainda hoje. Então talvez, será que é necessário comer tanto? Será que é saudável comer tanto?
Right.
Será que eu não preciso de uma bicicleta também? Né? Porque você só começa a pensar nisso quando o seu coração dá uma pontada, você começa a sentir uma dor e você fala, talvez eu devesse sair dessa cadeira aqui um pouco, né?
Right.
E fazer um pouco de atividade. Então, para mim, ficou essa lição de que tentar ter um pouco de mais consideração com a comida, pensar um pouco mais, comer com... tentar escolher um pouco mais antes de jogar qualquer coisa para dentro do organismo. Porque
Yeah. What you eat before you eat it. Yeah.
eu não sei, por exemplo, margarina é uma coisa que eu acho que aquilo não é alimento. Né?
No,
Eu
I
acho,
don't. I think margarine's.
eu acho que do jeito que entra, sai, na verdade, não tem função nenhuma, não tem função nenhuma no
Right.
organismo.
Right.
Né?
I mean, that's the thing. It's like when I made the biggest change in my life was when I decided to stop eating garbage because we eat a lot of garbage. Regardless, it could be vegan garbage. It could be, salt is not necessarily good for you, but we vegans eat a lot of it, and so do carnivorous people. People that are happy to eat meat will salt it up all over, and that's bad for you. So, at any rate, moderation I think is key, and also, if you can eliminate it, great. I mean, I'm looking for people to try to eliminate it because it will help you be healthier.
Algumas pessoas fazem resolução de ano novo. Esse ano eu vou isso, eu vou aquilo. Talvez você possa incorporar algo assim na sua resolução. Esse ano eu vou comer mais saudável. Esse ano eu vou comer mais, eu vou pensar mais antes de comer.
Yeah.
Bom, Rob, quer acrescentar alguma coisa?
No, I'm good. Actually, I'm just going to say that for me, I'm going to try to eliminate sugar this year. I'm really trying hard to eliminate sugar. That's going to be difficult, but I'm going to try my best because I think that's one of the worst things you can eat as well. So,
eu queria dizer que também eu poderia passar a noite inteira falando aqui com você, que eu estou gostando muito do assunto, mas eu também tenho que deixar você ir. Mas eu passaria a noite inteira falando aqui, porque eu acho que é um assunto gigante, Tem muita coisa para poder falar, tem muita coisa para aprender. Durante a semana, você pode pensar no próximo tópico que nós anunciamos pela página, ok? Pense num próximo tópico. E aí nós podemos anunciar pela página o nosso próximo tópico. E aí voltar a estudar mais, ok? Estudar mais. E para os alunos aí que estão nos assistindo, muito obrigado. Thank you so much, ok?
Like and share too, please.
Exatamente. pessoal, não estamos ganhando nada com isso, ok? Só espero que possa servir para vocês de alguma forma, que seja, ainda que seja para te entreter, mas que te entretenha com algo que seja que tenha um pouco mais de conteúdo, ok? Um conteúdo que talvez coce um pouco a sua cabeça, ok?
And I want you guys to participate in the conversation next time. You know, make sure you throw in some ideas. I'm looking at the feed and I'm not seeing anybody commenting. That makes me a little bit sad. So make sure
Não,
you
mas
comment.
eles vão aparecer. Eles vão
All right.
aparecer. É porque, como a página é nova, então tem muita
Right.
gente que não tá vendo isso aqui. Então a gente tem que espalhar a palavra mesmo, ok? Mas eu tô muito feliz de começar o ano assim. Tô muito feliz de começar o ano assim. Já comecei o ano aprendendo, ok? Espero que sirva para outras pessoas. E na próxima sessão, no nosso próximo encontro aqui, com certeza vai estar ainda melhor, ok?
Hopefully. Yeah. Please.
Com certeza. Rob, posso te deixar aqui?
Yeah.
Já posso dar tchau?
Bye bye,
Ok?
guys. Big
Bye
hug.
bye. Bye.